You smoke?
No, I can't do that. I used to, but I stopped doing
Does
that.
it work with you?
You want me to tell you the real story?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
All right. So I have. Okay, I'll get. All right. So my brother is, he has mental problems, right? And I'll be in and out of this real quick. And we've been dealing with this for a long time. You know what I mean? He's in and out of hospitals and stuff like that. Yeah, we're getting deep. Are you sure you want this for your
Yeah,
pod?
this is what they like.
Okay, so I remember my brother very vividly when he was a teenager. He was rolling up, right? He was rolling and he was putting it in a shoebox. And the one thing he said to me, I was a little kid, and he goes, "Don't tell mom and dad." And he put it in his closet, right, in a shoebox. So I always remember that. Like you always remember like that, right? And by the way, there's some other things that my brother did that's very traumatic that I still talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With people. Anyways, man, you brought it here, bro. Okay, so I was getting this. I was seeing, like, I don't know what they're called, but they're doctors that want to do things without medicine. Like
Homeopathic.
What is it?
Homeopathic.
Yeah, so I went to a homeopathic doctor, and she asked me to get a DNA test so she can read my body and tell me what type of things I shouldn't eat or what kind of vitamins I should take. So I did that, right? And so I brought the paper to her, and she went down this thing. And I was not feeling this whole homeopathic type thing because I didn't believe them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're kind of reluctant, like, oh, come on, they're full of shit. You can look at somebody like, oh, you need more vitamin B. And they're like, I'm a homeopathic, blah, blah, blah. No, and you believe them, right? This is when I started believing in this lady, is when she started looking at my chart, and she goes, do you smoke weed or do any THC? Do you ever get THC in your body? And I go, no. I do it occasionally, but it's never like something I need. And she goes, you cannot do that. Your body chemistry is not allowed to have THC. I go, why? She goes, you have a gene that is stimulated by THC, and it's schizophrenia.
Yep.
Oh, you know this?
Well,
my brother suffers from schizophrenia. See, I just got chills. I got chills right now.
So you're prone to potentially falling
and
into...
I cried in front of her. And immediately I thought of my brother. Like the trauma went all the way back to him rolling those joints. And then I started blaming myself. Like, why didn't I tell my mom? Why didn't I tell my dad?
Sure.
Like I felt so bad. But then again, that medicine wasn't out in the 70s.
Oh,
they didn't know.
God.
And I literally, I cried. I remember telling everybody about it. And now I'm scared. When someone has it, I get a little scared. I did this weed show on Netflix, and I was literally just throwing it in. I was pretending. Right. You know what I mean? I would eat a little bit, but I was like so nervous because I knew what this doctor said to me, and I know she wasn't lying because I know it's in my family.
It's in your family.
It's in my family. She wasn't lying, and that's when I started believing in this homeopathic type research. Right?
There's a lot of merit in it.
Bro, like for her to hit that on the nail like that, to see that is like, she wasn't like reading the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
She saw something and she knows that this is stimulated by THC. Stay away from it because it could activate.
I did not know that was possible.
Yeah.
Well, you have a certain part of your genetic sequence
Yes.
that makes you more prone to schizophrenia based on your family line, and THC activates that, is what you're saying.
Yes, and it scared me so much that I'm done.
People don't give enough respect to psychoactives. I'm telling you, even marijuana, as far down as marijuana, it's such a light thing, and everybody thinks it's so simple, and it doesn't affect your mood, and it doesn't activate your you being prone to certain genetic malfunctions or mental illnesses. People really need to look into that stuff. There's a lot of people out there who wake up every single day. They don't want to get out of bed. They're like, this is depression. No, you're smoking an ounce of weed a day.
Yeah.
You're smoking an ounce of weed a day, and you are genetically disposed, whatever the word is.
No, I hear you, Mike.
Predisposed to having a mental condition based on that THC intake.
Yes.
It's a very...
Mike, you're so right. You're 100% right, because I never understood, like, when people go, oh, man, this is... I get it when I smoke. I don't know. I don't even know the lingo, but like I smoke this, it makes me feel good, and I'm like, I'm always super paranoid, and I start thinking
Yeah,
shit about
same,
people.
same.
Every time I
Same.
get high, I'm like, I can look at you and think a certain way. Like, yo, what'd you mean by that? Like, my high is so fucked up. So I never understood what people were talking about.
I
Like,
had an
I've never had a
interesting-
really good high. I'll laugh, but then it turns right into this
Demons.
paranoia.
Dark place.
Yeah, man.
I've had an
to
interesting
where I gotta go.
relationship with weed because I can relate to that. I had the first couple, maybe 10 times I smoked, all very dark, very dark. Led me down a horrible path, and I hated the way it made me feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd freeze up in my own body, and then I kind of crossed the bridge. I got over the hump, and I beat it per se, and then Corona hit, and I was like, I'm gonna push myself because all I did was vlog. I would be creative and fun with my friends, so I became like a full on pothead intentionally. I was like, how far can I take this? I pushed myself to the limit,
Really?
like to the limit, where I noticed I was getting angry when I wasn't high. I couldn't eat when I wasn't high, and I told Josie this the other day. The withdrawals that I've had, because I cut it cold turkey, it's the only way I know how to like stop a habit. The withdrawals that I had, I don't know if I'm willing to experience that torment ever again.
Yeah.
Insomnia, lack of appetite, mood swings. From THC,
Oh,
bro.
that's
from a
crazy.
plant. From
So when
Yo,
you
bad,
stopped,
bad.
so when you stopped, you couldn't sleep.
For
so your
2 to
body
3
was
weeks.
dependent
For 2 to 3
on-
weeks.
There's definitely a dependence there.
Wow.
And,
People
and bro,
down-
I was